Laura Landers and welcome back to Morning Matcha, my show where I get to talk about whatever I want. And this morning we're going to be talking about why you need to stop feeling comfortable in life right now. It might be the death of you. It was for me. So the reason it was the death of me was because I truly believed that comfort was something that you strive for. I believed it was the end result. It was the end goal in life, was if you feel comfortable, you are set. And then I listened to a podcast, and that podcast told me differently. And it really made me think for myself. And after I did that, I realized that we are not made for comfort. We as human beings were not made or created to be comfortable. And then you have to ask yourself the question, well, if I'm not made for comfort, what am I made for? And we'll get to that in a minute. But the first, right off the bat, takeaway is to know that comfort embeds stillness, and that's not a good thing. So this is different. I just want you to know this is different than if you are working a job you absolutely love and you're working your butt off and then you come home and all you want to do is feel comfortable. That's a different story. That's great. But I'm talking about the people that are maybe at a job that they work really hard at, but it's not their passion, or they know that there's something different for them, and then they just kind of say, well, you know what? I'm comfortable. I get in this rhythm. I'm okay. I go home. I watch my TV. I love my life. I'm comfortable. That's the death of you. And the reason it's the death of you is because I know firsthand how that kind of stopped my life for about 5 years, maybe even 6. So I worked at a job that was great. Wasn't my calling. And I realized that every night I'd come home, I lived alone. For years I lived alone. I loved it. I'd come home and I got to watch Gilmore Girls for 10 hours for the 17th time. And then I would just wake up, do my normal schedule, go to work, come back home, and it was great. And then I realized all my friends were doing great stuff, making their careers happen. And I wasn't making mine happen. I thought I was, but I wasn't. It was just so sad. So anyways, I'm not doing that anymore, thank goodness. I also have a husband who won't let me stay still and comfortable in life, and I'm all for that. It's so good to have someone to push you forward. But you have to know that stillness keeps you from having good relationships. Stillness keeps you from basically just living your best life. And it's true. So you have to just remember that comfort brings upon stillness, and stillness isn't necessarily a good thing. So the second thing that you have to know is that comfort breeds fear. So when you're still and you're not doing much and you think you're happy in life and you're just chilling out, you're on that couch like I was just always on the couch. But because I worked so hard, I thought that that was okay. And it is in certain circumstances, but in mine it wasn't, because I knew that I moved to LA to do something big with my career, and that was my own personal story. I don't know what your personal story is, but I just kept sitting on that couch, and day after day after day, I was starting to get more fearful. The fear just kept brewing inside of me because I was too scared to move because I was still, and so that fear just kept growing, and then I didn't do anything with it, and that was just so sad because I thought that I was taking care of my fear by praying or just whatever it was, and comfort just totally band-aids fear, and it doesn't actually take care of it. So you have to find the root of your fear. You have to dive down deep in your soul. You have to take that look inside of you and think, okay, what is it that is making me fearful? Why am I not moving forward in my life? Is it comfort? Did I think that comfort was the end goal? That was me. And I think because of that, you have to ask yourself, what are we created to do? If I'm not created to live comfortably, then what am I created to do? Well, I believe you're supposed to be helping others, but selfishly, you're created to grow. At all times, you're supposed to be growing. Like, truly. I believe that God wants us to grow, help other people. I think helping other people in general helps you grow. But if you're worried that you won't know who you are by helping other people, I don't know, whatever. If I'm just trying to give you an example. Ask your friends. And I had a video of this, my last video was about strengthening your relationships, and that is so true, because if you have a strong relationship with someone, you can ask them to help you grow. As long as you trust them, then you should absolutely ask them and see where that takes you, because that might actually give you that look inside of you that you weren't willing to face yourself, and that is something that I wasn't ready to do. So ask your friends how you can grow, and you're gonna start growing, and that's really great. And you know what, just so you know, success, because when I thought about it, I thought that comfort, like living life comfortably, meant that I was successful. But success is viewed differently, right? So some people view success as money, fame, relaxation, but you just gotta remember that you're not designed for comfort. You're actually not designed for success. You're designed to just keep growing and to keep helping other people. So remember that. So the 3 takeaways, just to kind of recap everything here in Morning Matcha, is to make sure you remember that comfort brings upon stillness, which will hinder your success, will hinder your relationships, and that's not necessarily the way you want to live. Number 2 is that comfort breeds fear. You don't want to just band-aid your fear. You want to make sure you're facing fear head on, keep pushing yourself forward, and asking your friends how they can help you. And the third thing is, might be the most important one, is that comfort, you gotta remember this, that comfort is not your safety blanket. Growth is your safety blanket. If you view growth as your constant in life, or change as your constant in life will be easier, it'll be better to manage, and you will feel way more grounded in who you are. So I hope this helped you. Just remember not to feel comfortable. Go out and try to push yourself today. Even if it's a small step, do not base your life on other people's lives. Don't move too fast. Just go at your own pace. I'm a slow mover, so I've been going pretty slow, and I actually am so thankful that I rested in how fast or slow I move, because it's allowed me to not burn out and not give up. So I'm gonna go froth my milk. I love you guys. See you on the next one.